For most of us, this is what comes to mind when we think of Goodwill. While the donations in retail stores are an extremely important part of the Goodwill Industries, they are one of the several critical parts of this $4 billion organization, whose mission is to help provide meaningful and lasting employment for anyone who needs help, no matter what their life circumstances happen to be. There is no better example of the wide range of services provided by Goodwill than Goodwill Battle Creek, which today is thriving due in large part to the leadership of President and CEO Ken Bauer. A unique set of circumstances led Ken to the career change from banker to Goodwill CEO.
I was the banker for this organization, and it went through a merger, and the merger created some financial issues, and it got worse. And at that time, some of the board members who knew me as the banker asked me to come and consider becoming the president of Goodwill. And when I came here and saw the people and knew the mission, I just thought it was a great way to end my career trying to do something for people, and it's worked out very well.
Ken approached his new responsibilities with enthusiasm and intensity, quickly identifying the needs of both employers and the chronically unemployed, then developing programs to match those two needs. When Ken came to Goodwill, this was a dark, empty section of the building. Now it is both a training center for manufacturing jobs and a certified provider of auto parts for companies such as Ford and Toyota. Ken brought in experts from the manufacturing industry, John Bauer and Tom Woods, who worked with the manufacturing companies to identify their needs in employees and created the center to train employees to meet those needs as part of the EDGE program, essential skills demanded by great employers.
We are primarily a training facility. However, we operate just like Ford, GM, Chrysler would. We have a certification, a quality management system called TS 16949. Okay? What that does, it helps us ensure that our customers achieve only 100% quality products and we deliver on time.
Ken and his team recognize that getting a job is just one step in financial independence, so they developed the Financial Opportunity Center, which serves all participants in employment training programs, as well as anyone in the general public who needs help. The Financial Opportunity Center is completely funded by Goodwill, and all services are free of charge.
Our Financial Opportunity Center, as I said earlier, we had all of our workforce people out on Fort Custer, and that's a great place to do manufacturing because you're so close to the ultimate customers. But it was very difficult for people here in our community to get out to the fort, transportation being a big barrier. That's why we decided to move the Financial Opportunity Center right downtown, so transportation is less of a barrier. A lot of the people we serve live very close to downtown, so it makes it way more convenient for them. And of course, we're right across from the Kellogg Foundation, one of our main funders for our programming, so it makes it very easy for our workforce people to communicate to the Kellogg Foundation.
The Financial Opportunity Center, what a great program. Prior to us having the Financial Opportunity Center, it was getting people jobs and then letting them handle their paychecks and everything else on their own. With the Financial Opportunity Center, we can provide them the financial literacy and talk about financial behavior before they get the job. We look at income supports. It says, okay, now that you've got this, is there something else that we can do to help improve your net income while you're going through the training phase and whatever? And the VITA program, which is Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, is one of those income supports where we do free income tax preparation, and we'll e-file the returns for those individuals that qualify and try to get them to do direct deposits so they get money in their hands much quicker. The money management piece for people that we pretty much, it's simple. Most people, when they come in, they might come in with a bottled water or a coffee cup or a pop, and we break it down and say, that pop costs you how much? Oh, $1.50. Over how many days do you buy that pop? And start working with them with that level. Most individuals, when they go into a job, will also spend money at a vending machine. We talk about the vending machine expense over a period of a year and get them thinking about those little $1, $2 expenses. And then we go from there. Some of the issues when we're working with our participants that we find that they struggle with finding employment is criminal history. They might have hidden disability. They lack child care options based on different shifts. Manufacturing has all three shifts running, and so we got to find child care options. Transportation, lack of education. Manufacturers require individuals to have a high school diploma or a GED, so we'll work with them to find that. Lack of future orientation. If you don't have goals or know what you want the future to hold, it's tough to keep that job. If you're just fighting chaos on a day-to-day basis, employment might not be the biggest thing, so we'll try to get them to set goals. Generational habits, family habits, the way they were raised. So those are just some of the issues that we deal with when we're working with our participants.
Goodwill Battle Creek hasn't stopped with the EDGE program in the Financial Opportunity Center. In January of 2015, Goodwill Battle Creek's newest program, Goodwill Connects Youth, was launched.
The focus on youth, we wanted to have at least a 2-generational strategy here at Goodwill. We're working on people who are a little bit older, who maybe have had barriers, have created some issues, job training issues, they haven't been employed for a long time. We wanted to make sure that we started young enough so maybe those problems can be avoided in the young people we deal with.
Ken has no plans to stop anytime soon.
You know, right now there's something called the BC Vision, where the entire community is getting together to figure out ways to help more people experience economic success. So we're really going to hopefully be a key part of that. We'll continue to focus on youth in our community. The Goodwill Connects program has lots of ways to develop opportunities for young people, so we're going to continue to stress that.
What started in Boston in 1902 with a minister named Edgar Helms collecting donations from the wealthy and hiring those in need to help sell those items has grown into a $4 billion nationwide industry with the same core mission and philosophy. Hand up, not hand out. Thanks to the many people like those at Goodwill Battle Creek who are working all over the country, over 2 million people per year receive free job training and career services. All of this would not be possible without the over 2,500 retail stores who not only provide job training themselves, but also provide the major source of funding for non-retail job training programs.
This is where it all starts. This is where it all begins. This is all the donations that people bring to us to fund all of our programs and do all the things we do to help everybody. Starts right here at the donation door. Without the community support, we'd never be able to get anything accomplished. And George, he's pay no attention to the Michigan State jersey he's wearing. But how many years have you worked for Goodwill?
1 day.
No, how many years?
38.
38 years he's worked here for Goodwill. He's been here a long time, so. And he takes the donations, and what he'll do is he will sort it. He'll put the shoes over here. He'll put other donations that come in, like hardware and houseware things will go into a bin. He'll take the textile, all the clothing, and put it into a different bin. And then what we do is the merchandise is taken, all of the hardware and houseware stuff comes to this location. This is Ken. He's been here, how long you been working?
10 years.
10 years here. So he goes through all of the hardware and housewares merchandise, and he'll price it, clean it up, make sure everything is working and everything looks good. And so then that merchandise gets staged onto these carts, and then it'll get rolled out to the sales floor and be put away. So the donations come in, he does the hardware, gets all that stuff done here. Now the textile, all the clothing, you can see these bins we have back over in here. Those are all donations that come in, and all the clothing goes into those bins. And then the clothing will move from there back to our processing centers in the back. And these are the staging areas where we will put the clothes, and we have people set up in each different location. Aj is back here. You can see her hanging. What she'll do is she goes through, pulls out each piece of clothing, checks it for quality, makes sure that it's in good shape to be able to sell on the sales floor, and she'll hang it onto a rack here. When a rack is full, then she'll wheel it over to the door there. and she lines them up, and then we will check them and count them and record how much we're putting on the sales floor, and then that'll go out onto the floor. Anything that is not good, anything that's got holes or is damaged or ripped or torn or whatever, goes into another cart. We take that cart and we will send it up to our plant in Charlotte. And up in Charlotte, all of the merchandise that we can't sell in the store that's in too poor of condition, we sell to salvage dealers, and they use that merchandise all over the world. And they'll take it and pay us for it, and then use it wherever they can use it around the world for different countries and different programs. So nothing really gets thrown into the landfill. We try and recycle everything we get donated. Very little gets thrown away. We find some use for it or some recyclable program that we can use it at. So once the merchandise gets staged here, we'll count it and check it and record how much we've got. They'll categorize it with kids and ladies and men's and so on, so it's easier to put away out on the sales floor. But it's an ongoing process. And I can say that in the summertime, we get so many more donations than we can process, and we will store those and hold on to them in Charlotte for December, January, February, when donations slow down because people aren't doing cleaning and yard saling and all that stuff. So the donations that we save in Charlotte start coming back to the stores from our plant, and we will start processing through them again. So they just kind of ebbs and flows throughout the season depending on the weather and the donations. Store is set up just like a regular normal retail store. We have all of our hardware and housewares, and we try and categorize it by knickknacks or glasses or electronics, and we have books and music and pictures, and we try, a lot of it is only one only, one of a kind items. We don't get a lot of one item, but where you see that we have multiple items similar, like these vases and bowls and cups, we do purchase some new goods to supplement our donations. These are closeouts, discontinued items, things that companies are clearancing out, and we can get at a really, really low price and be able to put them out at a decent value and be able to sell through. It just kind of enhances all the donations we get in. So all of this is put out on a daily basis. We do rotate merchandise. What we have is 4 different colors, 4 different weeks that the merchandise comes out. What we do is we will price everything with a certain color tag this week, and then next week we'll change to another color, and the 3rd week we go to another color, and then on the 4th week we will pull the color that's been out on the floor for 3 weeks. So if it hasn't sold in 3 weeks, we rotate it back to the back and we'll send it to Charlotte. They'll either disperse it to another store that might need that product, or they will recycle it through one of our vendors that's taking items that we just can't sell. So fresh stuff comes out every week, every day, and nothing stays out here on the sales for more than 4 weeks. Everything gets recycled through. Basically, the textile is done the same way. We'll tag it with a color. We rotate it with these little, we put these little barbs on it to tell the colors that's on them. And then we will go through and keep it by size, by department, kids, ladies, men's. We get millions of pounds of donations. Like I said, we go through all of that individually, piece by piece, to check it all out and make sure. We get in shoes, get a wide variety of merchandise that comes in. We have bedding and sheets and towels and pillows and just about everything that any retail store would have, we would carry here.
The next time you clean out your closet, garage, or basement, consider a donation to Goodwill. You have 2 million good reasons to donate.